I want to send a shout out to um, all the Palestinians, the Israelis. You know, shout out to President Trump for stopping the war in the Gaza Strip. A lot of innocent lives lost. And, our hearts go to all the families on both sides. War is definitely not good. So again, just want to send, nothing but love to all the families out there, and shout out again to President Trump for getting the deal done. Do we know how long it's going to last? How long they going to, keep a ceasefire and not erupt again? We don't know, but for right now, things are looking good. Hostages are being returned. The remains of those that lost their lives as hostages, they're being returned. Palestinians are arriving back to the Gaza Strip in their areas, and hopefully that area can get rebuilt. So again, nothing but love. But I want to talk to the Americans right now because, the jubilation that we saw, the families celebrating over there at the end of the war, we need something to celebrate here. Because in America, there's a war that's going on, y'all, that's been going on for about I'm going to say 6 years, because it started in late 2019, but really 5 years, 2020. Well, we about to be in 2026, so 6 to 7 years. It's been a war going on here in the United States of America. And that war is an economic war. Can somebody tell me, when did Wal-Mart turn into Publix? Like, when did Wal-Mart turn into Publix? Hell, when did Wal-Mart turn into Target? Y'all remember Target? Like, it kind of, how it is. Always been that, the bouginess with Target, right? So to speak. They were a little too good. And Walmart was for your working class folks, your seniors in the community on fixed incomes, your working class families with, that got a budget, and, we felt like we can go to Walmart and save a little money and get certain things and save money, man. Walmart. Can somebody get Sam, Walt, and them? Get the family, them involved. This is ridiculous. But we need something to celebrate here in the United States of America, because it's been a war going on for the past 6 to 7 years, y'all. And we're being distracted by so many issues and things that have gone on throughout those years. We've been in a war economically here since COVID. Since COVID, we've been in a war economically here in the United States of America. And nobody said anything about it. During those times, during the COVID time period, they inflated the market. Just think about it. If all that free government money wasn't pumped into businesses during COVID and pumped into the economy and pumped into these various loans that they had out there for people and businesses, if that money was not pumped, we would be in shambles right now. We already in debt as a nation. We would be in extreme shambles. They inflated the market during that time. Y'all know all the money was flowing because they were just printing money just to keep things afloat. Now we seeing the ramifications of it in the extreme form. We in a recession. We in a straight recession, and we've been in a recession, y'all, since 2020. It was just hitting because they threw the money out there to inflate it. And it's ridiculous. Excuse me, y'all. They're doing some landscaping and some construction work, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, this is what's going on. So, but I'm like, I go to Walmart and see, I'm thinking about the senior citizens. I'm thinking about all of us, but the senior citizens definitely, because I work with seniors every single day. And they on fixed incomes. And man, I'm just seeing seniors, man, struggle just to maintain right now. Just to maintain. So we need President Trump. Hey, the people voted for you. The people voted for you. And, great job with getting the countries together to stop the war in the Gaza Strip. And it's been a lot of work being put in. We get that. But we need you now to get behind the folks that, obviously voted you in. You won the majority, so got you into that White House. You were speaking to the regular working class individuals. And it don't matter if it was President Trump, Biden, Kamala, it don't matter who it is, Obama, no, I don't care what the president is or who the president, it don't matter who they is. But if you sit in that seat and you come in the game behind the people, for the people, then you got to go ahead and you got to live up to it. And we understand there's nothing new under the sun. We get the political game and all of that. But right now, all the money is staying at the top, y'all. So we as Americans, we got to get our shit together. I'm just going to say it. We got to get our shit together, period. Working class Americans, folks that's going to work, this ain't no race thing, y'all. If you still a racist in the United States of America, in the world, period, you a fool. But especially here in this country, because racism, I'm not saying that don't exist, don't get that twisted at all. But you a fool if you're a working class person. The racism here in the United States is a socioeconomic racism now, y'all. But they using the color of your skin, your religion and all of that to keep us divided and distracted. But it's an economic racism that's going on in this country right now. And it's sad because working class individuals like our seniors who put a lot of time and effort as professionals when they were working, as community leaders, as people, that have families and raised families, and these were teachers and firefighters, and these were policemen, these were our construction workers. These were the individuals that you're seeing right now with seniors. This is the silent generation. A lot of them in their 70s and 80s, and then obviously you got the baby boomers now floating in as well too. These individuals put a lot of work in, and Social Security is fixed. So those prices are going up. In these stores, and at the gas tank, and with our utilities as well too. But the money that you're making is fixed. You got minimum wage that stayed the same. Federal minimum wage, I think, was $7.25. That's the problem. The prices is going up, but what you making and how your state is basing their pay rate, and I'm not talking about, because you have certain states that have a federal minimum wage, but if you have a state, let's say like Georgia, that has a large metropolitan area like Atlanta, then you'll find more competitive. Although there's some discretions, you'll still find some competitive wages depending on the industry you're in, and the level that you are, and all the accolades or whatever that you may have that you're bringing to the table in that particular role. There may be competitive wages or good paying jobs, but because you got large corporations in these metropolitan areas that's going to need talent to operate their businesses, and so that's going you're going to see some competitive wages. But most of America, if you don't realize, most of this country is rural, and obviously we have suburban areas that are growing and things of that nature now. But the whole point of this is just to say that we need something to celebrate here in America. It's just ridiculous. I walk into I'm like, when did Walmart turn into Publix? When did it happen? I mean, the price is just crazy, but the workers in Walmart are still living check to check, man. Still struggling. And weaken, and I'm for capitalism, but there got to be a limit. I'm a businessman. I run a company. I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm for you being able to go out here, create a product or service, a brand, market that, sell that, right, and reap the rewards of that. Because it really comes with a lot of hard work, really, when you coming from the ground up as an entrepreneur. So I'm all about reaping those fruits and being able to capitalize off of that. But there also too has to be a limit. And right now in our country, man, we really, in my opinion, we gotta wake up as American citizens and really, really, really take our power serious. And we gotta get these corporations and force these corporations to get their act together, because all of it is one hand washing the other. When you talk about tariffs, when you talk about the increase in prices, when you talk about labor, when you talk about manufacturing and production, and then the shipping and what goes here, goes there, all these listen, don't think that, once you start to get to a certain level economically, financially, in the world, the circle gets small. Meaning that if I have the top manufacturing company or top shipping company, and my shipping company majority ships products from this country, let's say China, to America to go into Walmart's, because Walmart's just the example today. You don't think I know the owners of Walmart? I'm not affiliated in some way, shape, or form with them. If I don't know them directly, indirectly I do. These circles are small. So one hand is washing the other, and you're just passing cost on, which is business. I get that it's business, but it comes to a point where there has to be a level of humility in business, and understanding that your regular folk out here that's making this thing turn, which is us working class people and us small businesses, and us that's out here that's trying to push forward and create a path and a life for our families, a legacy here in this country, which is a beautiful country. There needs to be some seriousness taken from our political leaders and corporate leaders in these large corporations to say, hey, we gotta figure out a way. And I know there's gonna be folks out there, man, that's how business is. They greedy, they ain't worried about you, they ain't gonna think about you. Like, I get all of that. I'm not stating this being naive. What I'm saying, though, is that we the people have the power to make them move, and our political leaders, we put them in position. And when I say political leaders, I'm not just talking about our president. I'm talking about our local leaders, our state representatives in the Senate and Congress, the mayors, city councilmen, all those people, all our township leaders. I'm talking about local, state, federal level. We all voted. If you voted, if you did vote, you put leaders in place. And so it's just very important to make sure that our leaders are supporting us, specifically on this economic war in our country, y'all. It's an economic war in America. Do not be fooled about these various hot flash news topics that come on throughout the year, or stuff that just to distract you. Listen, y'all, it's an economic war, and it just got to get fixed, man. Because I'm really, I think a lot about the seniors, because I work with seniors a lot, and I'm just seeing the effect that it's having on them. I'm thinking about families who got 3, 4, 5, 6 kids, you know, like, and just working class, and mama working, daddy working, everybody trying to pull everything together. I'm just thinking about I don't care what your color is. You know, that's the thing about it, man. You white, you black, you Asian, and I don't care what. If you working class, we all look. The crazy thing about it, like if you racist against somebody that we all work with in America, if you're working anyway, for the most part, you're gonna be working in a diverse group of people, right? From a race standpoint, for the most part, depending on where you're geographically located. But you're gonna work amongst, different race of people. We all work at the same place. We going to the same grocery stores that increase their prices. We going to the same gas stations that increase their prices. We dealing with the same utility companies, gas, water, electricity, that increase their prices. We all paying the same people, and they got us beefing while they laughing to the bank. So let's get it together. I would love to see what happens now. Hopefully again, things in the Gaza Strip stay at ease. We know there's been a history of this war being flared up constantly. So this has been a back and forth, y'all. So hopefully this can kind of put things at ease for the folks that's over there in the Middle East. Our hearts go with you, and in all the wars that's going on around. But there's a big war going on in America. And as President Trump said, he wants to focus on America. And President Trump, if you want to focus on America, man, and I got a lot of respect for you. You want to focus on America, man, your people here are hurting economically. And there's a huge divide in our country economically. We have a great country that allows us the freedom to enterprise, to create, to innovate, and to sell those things we create and innovate. I agree. However, when it's inflated and people can't afford the things that we create, it becomes a problem. So, all right, that's all I got on that.